First of all, congratulations. What made you want to adapt Van Helsing's Dracula into a ballet?
Oh, well, thank you. Let's see. So I chose to take the story of Dracula and turn it into a circus production because of the BBC's three-part series. I was looking around for a story to launch this new business with, and the the female Van Helsing and the fact that Dracula is a shapeshifter made me realize that it would be a really cool production and just unique characters to be able to take and turn into a live theatrical circus production. And I knew that I wanted to have a female lead for the show who, in my mind, I wasn't quite sure who that person would be, what their character would be. But when I saw the female Van Helsing, that was kind of what spurred the idea and, took it in the direction that it now is.
Awesome. And having a story that people know fairly well, does that make the adaptation into a ballet easier, or why did you choose a story like Dracula?
Yeah, so we actually took the story in a completely different direction. So if you are familiar with the story of Dracula, it does not follow the trajectory of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Um, I approached my two writers, Corinne Evans and Katie Rediger, to take the story, the themes, the characters, and do a completely original spin-off. So we do have the characters of Van Helsing, we do have Dracula, and we have Dracula's harem. But aside from that, the story is absolutely new and unique. Um, and yeah, we kind of just took it and ran with it. But I definitely wanted to use a story that people already kind of resonated with, because I found that, or I felt like, as a new business and as a new creative in the LA scene, it would be easier to pique an audience's interest and get people excited about something if they already had an idea of the story, of the characters, and kind of what they were getting into. So I wanted to use something that people sort of, there's a huge following of vampires. Vampires are kind of hot right now. So it was something that, I felt like, okay, people know the character Dracula. They know what they're getting when they get vampires. And so you either get excited about it or you don't. And if you're excited about it, then that was the type of person that I wanted to bring into this experience.
Awesome. And one thing I like about dance is the fact that anybody who does it has a passion for it. You know they do, because the dedication it takes is immense. Like, you don't become a dancer overnight. For this production, how did you choose your cast?
So, good question. So basically, me and my writers, or I gave them the idea, like, hey, take Dracula, run with it, bring me back an idea. And they came back to me with a beautiful show that I'm really excited about showing to everybody and actually making this reality. Um, and so, within the context of the show that they had written and the show that they created, we looked at it as far as, okay, what type of performers do I need for these different characters? Who is Dracula? Is Dracula an aerialist? Is Dracula just a dancer? Is Dracula a contortionist? Is Dracula someone that can do all of it? And so we sort of looked at each individual character and the specific qualities that we wanted these performers to have on stage. And then based on that, decided, okay, we need two aerialists. We need all of our harem are going to be ground performers, whether it's dancers, acrobats, contortionists, flow fan artists, or flow arts performers, um, dancers, what have you. And then based on that, I started interviewing performers. I did a big Instagram audition notice, or submission notice, I should say, and then looked through everybody, got headshots, reels, resumes, what have you. Spent a lot of time looking at who all of these different performers were, what specialty acts they would bring to the mix, as well as looking at them together as a group, right? So making sure that they would fit cohesively on stage together. And then for me, it was also really important to me that I had a wide variety of ethnicities represented in the show. I am, I'm Middle Eastern, but I, fit in with the white Caucasian demographic. And it was just really important to me to highlight the incredible BIPOC community that we have and make sure that there are people on stage represented who are not the, the kind of just normal white Caucasian demographic that we tend to see in a lot of dance, or just physical movement theatrical pieces. So I did take that into consideration when I was casting, was just making sure that I had a wide variety of specialty skills, a wide variety of ethnicities, but that everybody would cohesively work on stage based on their specialties.
Was it difficult to find a diverse cast?
Yes and no. I'm like trying to think of how to answer this question. There are a ton of circus performers in LA. I think the hardest part of it was scheduling. I definitely had my pick of diverse performers. But when it came down to, are you available for the show dates? Are you available for the times that we're planning on rehearsing? That was sort of what narrowed it down and made it a little trickier. But I did end up like my Dracula and not my Van Helsing, but my Dracula and the third lead of the show are both Asian mixed. And then within Dracula's harem, I have one woman who is Brazilian mixed. And then my Van Helsing is Spanish descent. So some Hispanic, I've got some Asian. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's where we ended up. Originally, I had brought in two amazing jugglers who were both Black or mixed, which would have been a really cool addition to the show, but scheduling wise, it just didn't end up working out. So, I hope in the future to be able to include them in a future show and continue to just highlight the extreme diversity that we have in LA. And I think luckily because I am in LA, there is a lot more diversity than in other parts of the United States or even other parts of California. So it was something that I put a lot of emphasis on. So it was definitely it was a priority for me. So it wasn't too difficult to find, but it was just tricky when it came to scheduling.
It seems like you brought so much to this production. What's gonna make it pop out? What's gonna make it special for the audience?
So the big thing for me is the fact that it's a dinner theater experience. I have seen a ton of shows in Los Angeles. There's a lot of stuff in bars or in restaurants where there is a dinner component or there's a food, you can order food, right? It's not maybe set along as a dinner theater experience, but it is a supper club where you can order food and watch a show. For me, it was really important that the food tied in with the production. So I hired a catering company, Ann Apra is the main chef that I'm working with, to create a menu that was based on the show and that would tie in with the production that you're watching. So for this show, we have a 3-course Romanian-inspired menu, sort of paying homage to Dracula and Transylvania, Romania, that part of the world. And there's a immersive component with the food, but I'm not going to spill the beans quite yet because I definitely want it to be a little bit of a surprise. But it was really important to me to have that theatrical dining experience where the food is seamless with the production, not just an add-on.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to watch this. Congratulations, and I hope for much success to the show.
Thank you so much. And then I do just want to add one quick thing, which is that we've partnered with the Red Cross. So if you go and give blood or attempt to give blood, whether it's a successful donation attempt or you attempt and they, for whatever reason, are unable to accept the donation, if you show proof of attempt, we will give a 10% discount for either October 21st or the November 4th dates. So we're really excited about that and hoping to just help the Red Cross with their blood drive efforts.
Awesome. That is amazing.
Thank you.